As lawyers, we've all been given the gift and the privilege of a legal education, and I think it's incumbent upon all of us to share that gift with other members of the community who aren't as privileged to have that.
In the criminal justice system, the greatest barrier for most people is financial. To be able to afford a lawyer to assist you in the criminal justice system can be very expensive. Legal aid is a wonderful program in Ontario. We're very grateful for it as criminal lawyers, but it only covers people who have a yearly salary of $18,000 a year or less. If you fall above $18,000 a year, you're not eligible. And what that means is there's a very large segment of the population who may make a little bit more than $18,000, so they're not eligible for legal aid, but need the services of a lawyer. So those people are trapped in a very unfortunate situation where they really can't afford it.
The system loses credibility and legitimacy if it's not open to everybody. And the more people feel that they're excluded from the system, the less valuable the system is.
Access to justice to me is for all of the people. Doesn't matter what nationality you are, but when you are in Canada, you have to follow the law of Canada. So justice is important in the sense to access to all different languages and cultures. Every single day, what we do and provide not only to the client per se, but also to the families, to lawyers, educating lawyers to understand the mental health court system and how that works. And we are there to facilitate for all of them.
Justice for some, in some ways, is justice for none, because equal justice under law is a proposition. It's not separable, divided up and say, well, we've given justice to some people, so the other people didn't get it. Well, it's better than nothing.
To me, it's a combination of both early and preventative access to information and understanding about what kinds of issues or conflicts someone might face in order to prevent them, as well as access to legal professionals when there is a dispute. Much like we see in the medical system, we ask for advice, we talk to a pharmacist, maybe we check in with our doctor in a preventative way, and we also have the comfort of knowing that there are professionals available to help us when things get more complicated. Access to justice would be the full spectrum of preventative, responsive, and just-in-time last-minute services for people who need them.
It means despite who you are or where you come from, you have the rights to and have access to the availability of our very robust legal system. To me, it's a Canadian value that I'm very, very proud of. I feel it's an obligation at a very personal level of something that I need to think of ways to support and contribute to. And also as a person who works for Thomson Reuters, I'm very proud of being in a company that believes so strongly in the public interest and serving the public interest.
Well, it means having one's voice heard, right? So if they're involved in the justice system, they're going to have an opportunity to present their case and defend themselves. We see it every day in terms of having people who have mental health challenges and may not necessarily be able to access the justice system and the complexities of the legal system. So we're there to assist people right from beginning, from as the charge comes in and to the the completion of that charge. We're there to assist them and help them. So I think in our work every day, what we do is an example of people getting access to justice.
Access to the justice system means, to me, access to information about a person's legal rights, access to information about legal remedies, and also information about the processes and actual access to courts.
To me, access to justice means having a fair opportunity to present your case and to be heard.
In my practice, the conventional approach is to charge clients by the hour. Everything we do at Franklin Law is charged on a flat rate. And we break our fees into monthly installments so that clients know exactly how much they're going to pay per month, regardless of how complex the case gets. We also offer a lot of courses. And what I found is that charging somebody for a consultation is much less cost effective than having a group of people in a room talking about a subject, perhaps not providing legal advice, but providing legal information that they can use and make decisions on their own.
Something that I've been involved in at my firm that I think has helped access to justice is the establishment of a pro bono summary advice legal clinic. People who are referred to us are people who are experiencing problems in the workplace. It could be, health and safety issues or human rights issues. And the clinic recognized that health issues and legal issues are intertwined. The access to justice is one of the social determinants of health.
I'm involved as one of the supervising lawyers of the Pro Bono Students Canada Wills Project in Toronto. It's a project that involves volunteer students, law students from both Osgoode Hall and U of T. And my role is I'm actually the law firm partner with Pro Bono Students Canada. So we provide all the training for students, supervision, answer questions.
I have a long career of doing pro bono work for various communities, including the LGBT community, and I've done that for a couple of decades plus now. And I think that in doing that work, the cases themselves have been important, the issues have been important, the treatment of LGBT citizens in our country is important. But at the same time, the profile given to the community, the legitimacy given to the community as being seen as full participants in the system is a very important effect of making sure that all communities have access to justice.
So Denton's has a project that we operate in conjunction with Pro Bono Students Canada called the Tax Advocacy Project. And through this project, which operates in Toronto, Montreal, Edmonton, and in other centers, PBSC and Denton's train law students who work with taxpayers who have tax appeals before the Tax Court of Canada and who do not have counsel. And we pair up these students who participate in the project with these self-represented litigants and assist those taxpayers with resolving their tax dispute.
So one of the things that I do is act as pro bono duty counsel at the Small Claims Court and at the Judgment Debtor Court. So this is through Pro Bono Law Ontario, and we spend a day every couple of months, and I go up and act as duty counsel, and I just see people who can't afford a lawyer, who don't maybe know the next step or even how to start a claim, and I give them summary advice about how to proceed.
I think the primary barrier that I was trying to deal with when I created Legal Swipe was that the community deals with the legal system on a daily basis, and people find it difficult to navigate. They find that it's slow, and they very rarely get the remedies that they're looking for. So my hope with creating the app was not only that I'd be able to educate people, but that I'd be able to start a conversation and a focus in the community at large about legal rights and the importance of legal rights.
I think we have to think of our profession as a public service profession. I think that's why many people entered the practice of law in the first place. And currently, we don't serve ordinary Canadians who can't afford full representation. We need to enable those people to use lawyers for the value that they bring, but to do so in an affordable way. And I believe that that is the responsibility of everybody who's called to the bar.
As a lawyer or a student, think about your practice as a life, and you go from cradle to grave, and for you to get there and be satisfied throughout, you've got to have some times where you're learning, some times where you're working to develop your career and your skills, but some times where you're giving back. And if you have that giving back to the community framework from the beginning, you will achieve way more success than if you have a more narrow view of the practice of law.
I can say the most to get people motivated to assist in access to justice is that it's the kind of work that can leave you feeling fulfilled at the end of the day. It can help break up your routine, and it provides a vital service to people that otherwise would not have that service.
I think when you come to your golden years and you look back on your career, you're unlikely to be counting up the billable hours that you spend. What's going to strike you as important then, and what really is more important in the final analysis, is what did you achieve? Who did you help? what was the bigger meaning in your life. And if you think about those things, then you'll be motivated to get involved in campaigns such as this.
The Flip Your Wig campaign is the opportunity for many of us in our society who have privilege, who have specialized skills and knowledge, and it gives us the opportunity to give back, to share, and that sharing is not just about pro bono. That sharing is about investing our time, our skills, our energy in our democracy. And every time we are able to give back in a way that strengthens the community-based organizations that are working day in and day out for access to justice in our communities, we're investing and reaping benefits for a stronger democracy, not just for today, but for generations to come.
One of the things that I notice is that many lawyers are very interested in promoting access to justice, but one of the problems they have is they don't know how to balance the need to preserve their own livelihood and offer affordable rates and accessible services to clients. And I think what the Flip Your Wig for Justice campaign does is it allows lawyers to access a number of organizations that deal with the access to justice issue at a structural level. So it allows lawyers to participate in a system that actually has a much broader impact on access to justice than they could ever have through their individual practices.
It's important to get the message out there that access to justice doesn't require a huge time commitment. Anybody can do it. There are a million ways that you can get involved. For self-represented litigants, for people who just need paperwork help, things that are simple to complicated, and you'll always learn from it. So to get involved with Flip Your Wig, I think is really important. To donate as well is very important. Law firms out there, you've got some means, so you should participate.
The Flip Your Wig campaign is a wonderful opportunity for lawyers to participate and profile some of the work that they've done in the community to improve access to justice.
Flip Your Wig combines the best elements of our profession, the honorable pursuit of justice in service to the community, with a lot of fun. And I just think it's a brilliant kind of campaign to help raise awareness, help raise money, support organizations that are providing routes to access to justice in our community, and basically feel good about what we do as lawyers.
We know that public legal services in Canada are stretched thin, with a growing number of people needing assistance that they can't get. I would encourage every lawyer to get involved in the Flip Your Wig campaign so that the profession stands up and says this is an important issue that we need to contribute to financially in order to help people get better access to justice in Canada.
I think it highlights the importance of access to justice and also lets lawyers know just how little access to justice there really is for most people in Canada. I think we live in a very free and democratic society, there's no question, but the reality is that most people cannot afford or even access legal services, and that's an absolute travesty.
If you ask lawyers the question, if you could give a couple hours of your time to make an immediate positive impact on somebody's life, would you do it? I think the vast majority of respondents would say, absolutely, of course. And I think that's the important way to position it to lawyers and law firms. You can go out there for as few as a couple hours a week, have an immediate positive impact on someone's life. You should be out there doing that because it's the right thing to do.